That tradition feels so alive. Summer rhythms flame, we're gonna thrive. Go, 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 oh, shout it aloud. In the summer sun, we're a summer-loving crowd. Talking Brazil ball.
In this week's episode, Palmeiras keep their lead at the top of the table and Fogo flying up the league. All that and much, much more in this episode of Talking Brazil Ball. So tune in and enjoy.
Champion beats, talking Brazil ball, spreading love in every way. In the sound of paradise, we're here to stay.
Off we go then. Enough of that. Hello there and welcome to Talking Brazil Ball. It's the English-speaking Brazilian football podcast where we talk all things Brasileirão and Serie A. Of course, that's the same thing, isn't it? And we're here again after nigh on just under 2 weeks' time. I didn't do one last week, so I will get everybody up to date with last week's results as well as this week's results. So I didn't do a game of the week either, so we'll jump straight in to the awards, to be honest with you, this time. But I will, as always, start by rounding up the fixtures. Like I said, I will give last week's as well. So they went as follows. So last weekend, like I said, Saturday the 11th of April, Remo 1, Vasco 1, Vitória 2, Sao Paulo 0, Mirassol 1, Bahia 2, Santos 1, Galo 0, Inter 0, Grêmio 0, Atletico PR 2, Chapecoense 0, Fogo 2, Curitiba 2, Fluminense 1, Flamengo 2, Corinthians 0, Palmeiras 0, Cruzeiro 2, RB Bragantino 1. Into Saturday the 18th, round 12 then. Chapecoense 1, Fogo 4, Vasco 2, Sao Paulo 1, Vitória 0, Corinthians 0, Cruzeiro 2, Grêmio 0, Inter 1, Mirassol 2, Curitiba 2, Galo 0, Santos 2, Fluminense 3, Palmeiras 1, Atletico PR 0, RB Bragantino 4, Remo 2, and Flamengo 2, Bahia 0. So there we are. You're all up to date with both weekends of football action in the Brasileirão. And like I said, I haven't done a game of the week this week. It was a little bit slack. Busy week for me. So I didn't do one last week. So I didn't pick a game of the week. My game of the week was going to be the Corinthians and Palmeiras draw the week before, but obviously I didn't do it. So we'll jump straight into the awards. And the first award is this one.
Go, go, go. Brazilian football at its best.
Indeed, Brazilian football at its best. And it was a very, very good goal, this one, that won this week's Goal of the Round award. And it was Mr. Jefferson Savarino. He's well known on the podcast since we've been going as Jefferson. Won many, many awards, I think, over the years that we've been doing the pod. And another one this time round for his goal against Santos in Fluminense's 3-2 win over them. He got Flu back on level terms in this one in Sao Paulo. Lovely, trademark Jefferson, wasn't it, really, this one? Curled in with his left foot, in off the bar, kissing the bar on its way into the goal to set Fluminense on their way to a 3-2 success. They did go behind. Barel put Santos 2-1 up, but goals from Castello and then Kennedy with the winner. Kennedy back in the fold under Luis Subeldia, was seemingly, cast out for quite some time. Back in the fold, still only 23 years old. 5 goals this season he's having a decent season. Like I said, after being brought back in from the cold, a little bit naughty behaviour I think he has in his past, but back in the team, back amongst the goals. Like I said, that's his 5th of the season for them. But we're talking here about Mr. Jefferson Severino, who, like I said, scored. He got taken off injured in the 80th minute of this one, but that was only his 2nd goal of the season. Not been as prolific as he was for Botafogo. In fact, only 4 league goals last season, but he was very prolific the year before. 8 goals obviously came from a couple of years in the MLS with Salt Lake, and obviously played for my team, Galo, as well. So yeah, he had a little bit of time in America, didn't he? A few years ago, few spells spanning over about 6 years, really, but came back to Brazil, the Venezuelan international, of course. Well known. He's no spring chicken at 29, is he? But yeah, 51 caps for his country. He's a really good hitter of the football, isn't he? Really, really sweet goal, this one. Like I said, it brought them back on level terms. They eventually went on to win the game, even after going behind again early on in the second half to Burrell's goal. And Zubel Diaz doing a marvellous job of taking Fluminense potentially on a title charge. They are 6 points behind Palmeiras, currently 23 points in 3rd position, behind rivals Flamengo, who they obviously lost to in that big Fla-Flu derby, last week, wasn't it? So yeah, Fluminense going really, really well, although they did lose in the Libertadores against Independiente Rivadavia of Argentina. That was a home match as well. The away team came from behind after Arana put Fluminense 1-0 up. Disappointing for them, of course, but they're going really, really well in the league, to be fair. And hopefully Zubeldia will be able to, from their point of view, be able to keep them going on the upward trajectory. As for Santos, they're sitting just a point above the relegation zone in 15th place. Of course, like I said, beat Galo, my team, last week. Then drew in the Sudamericana with Recolta of Paraguay. It was a home match. Neymar did score in that one, of course. Big fanfare as always around Neymar. Did play a little part in Santos' first goal, Mr. Barbosa blasting the ball in the net. Like I said before, Severino got the equaliser. Santos, obviously managed by Cuca, who I think he was banned for this game on the touchline. I think the one of his assistants, Quijana or Kuhina, whatever he's called, he was on the bench and took the team for this one. I think Cuca might have had a ban, but no doubt he might be back for the Copa do Brasil home game tomorrow evening against Curitiba. Let's wait and see. But Cuca, one of my favourites as well, traditionally, manager-wise, hasn't really got going on, with Santos just yet. Lost the majority of his 6 games in charge so far. He's lost half of those games, hasn't he, so far? So they sit just above the drop zone currently. Also, we will have this one, another award in this game, and it is this one. It's this one instead. So
Bright future ahead for this guy, a young talent of Brazil. How far can he go? It's the young player of the round award.
yes, it's the young player of the round award in the same game, and it goes to Santos's Rafael Gonzaga. I think he plays as I think he's a striker, but I'm not Exactly. There is no information, very little information on this fella, actually. I think or he might be a winger, actually. But he plays in the forward line, Rafael Gonzaga. Debut for Santos. There was very little to go off for the Young Player of the Round award, actually, this week. It was very, very slim pickings. So I went for a lad who's made his debut his senior debut for Santos there. Not much information, like I said, Rafael Gonzaga. So not much to say really on him, but he does win that award this week. Like I said, Santos losing the game eventually. He played the second half of this one. So let's wait and see what happens in his career if he crops up again this season. But that is the Young Player of the Round award. Not a great deal to say on that one, to be honest. Yeah, not a great deal to say, but that is that award done and dusted. So we will go on to another award, the last award, and we're saving the best till last, really, today. Like I said, a little short podcast, really, today. It will turn out to be probably because, just busy, but trying to fit it in as always and keep you guys up to date with all things Brasileirão. So, that's good, and I hope everybody, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to, to keep up to date with everything in the Brazilian top flight. But we will go on and do the Player of the Round award, which is our final award of this episode.
Go, go, go.
Oh.
Performance, 5 stars. He's gotta be player of the round. Who else?
And who else was it? Well, it could have been a few players actually this time. 3 players got a brace, 2 of them in Fogo's 4-1 demolition of Chapecoense away from home. Ed Nielsen and Martins, Matthias Martins, got 2 goals each in that 4-1 win. Martins was going to get the goal of the round award last week before I obviously didn't do the pod, but it was a lovely goal. So he's got 3 goals I think he's got 3 goals in 2 games now. 3 goals in 2 league games potentially. No, I'm not sure, but he was going to win that goal. It was a lovely goal, that one against Vasco. Ed Nielsen and then Martins, they were 2 on the cusp of it. But the man who won the award was one of the favourites on the pod, Mr. Isidro Pita, the Paraguayan striker. Looks a little bit, he has a similar aesthetic to myself, really. Does Pita, and favourite on the pod, of course, shares a birthday with both me and James, and he got 2 goals in Bragantino's 4-2 win over Remo. Remo still languish in the relegation zone, as it's probably to be expected. But Pita, we're all about Pita today. 2 goals, he's doubled his goal return for the season so far. 4 goals from 11 games. Injury hit, as he always is. He's back amongst the goals for Bragantino. These couple of really nice finishes, to be honest with you. First one was like a really quick thinking little couple of touches and then a lift over the goalkeeper for the first one on 19 minutes. He then doubled. He then put Bragantino back in front after Taglieri, who we spoke about on the pod a few weeks ago. He levelled for Remo, but Pita put them back in front. Remo then equalised, but to Shamba, the Cameroonian centre-back for Remo, he's got a brace of own goals, if you can believe that. 2 own goals in space of 5 early second half minutes. Took the game away from Remo. and Bragantino then went on to win it comfortably. But the second goal from Pitta, another lovely, nice finish right into the bottom corner, snapshot finish. It was lovely, and it really shows what he can bring to this team, leading the line for Wagner Mancini. The other day, obviously Leo Conde loses out, Remo struggling in the relegation zone, but Bragantino are doing really well now. Three wins out of four Serie A games. They did also win in the Sudamericana. They played two games over the space of 2 days. They played Friday against Blooming in the Sudamericana, the Bolivian side. Blooming, they won 3-2. Pitta got 2 goals in that game as well. So he's got 4 goals in 2 games in all competitions. Both teams did end the game with 10 men on that occasion, but Pitta scoring goals again, and then it was a 3-2 win. Then 2 days later, they win in the Brazilian Serie A 4-2. Pitta gets 2 more goals. He's really on form. He's showing what he can do, and that is 7 goals for the season, of course, for him. So he's doing quite well in the goal scoring charts so far. Like I said, 4 in the league, which we obviously concentrate here on talking Brazil ball. Yeah, Pitta's one of the favourites of the pod, really. He gets his first Player of the Round award for the season. I'm not sure why not more people are looking at this fella, really. There might be, but, at 26 years old, he's still got a lot to offer. He scores goals up and down the league. Really, he seems to anyway. On a short spell in Europe, before with Huska, of the Spanish team. After that was his first trip into Europe and his only trip into Europe so far in his career. But let's see. We keep a close eye on Isidora Pitta. So let's see if he can get a move away in the summertime, possibly. Let's wait and see. But that he wins this week's Player of the Round award. There you go. So all there is to say now is to round up the fixtures for this coming week, round 13 of the Brazilian round. Then I will pick my game of the round, which we will have next week, and then we'll round up the table for you. So let's have a look at fixtures and pick out our match of the week. So it starts on Saturday, the 25th of April. Bahia hosts Santos, Fogo hosts Inter, and Remo hosts Cruzeiro. Sunday, the 26th of April, then, Sao Paulo against Mirassol. Corinthians host Vasco. Curitiba travel to Grêmio. Atletico PR against Vitória. AB Bragantino against Palmeiras. And then on Monday, the 27th of April, the match week concludes with Galo against Flamengo and Fluminense against Chapecoense. So there you go. That is the full round of fixtures. And let's have a look then. There's nothing that really stands out fully, is there? You know what? I'm going to go with a game that, the table is now starting to form a little bit, isn't it? And so I'm going to go with one that's towards the bottom end of the table. And I'm going to go with Remo against Cruzeiro, 2 teams that are just hovering in and around the relegation zone. Cruzeiro have picked up under Arta Jorge, as you might have thought they might do, really. They've won 2 games on the spin in Serie A. They've won 3 out of 4. They are definitely improving from their early form under Tite. So 12 games, 13 points, not the best, but they are improving, like I said. So, and Remo, 8 points off their 12 games, sitting second bottom. Obviously changed the manager already as well. Leo Conde coming in. So they'll be looking for a win and take them closer to safety, as it were, so early on in the season. But I'll look at that one, I think, this time. So, yeah, that should be a good game. Anyway, we'll look at the table to round it up with then. In first place is Palmeiras on 29 points. Second is Flamengo on 23. Third is Flu on 23. Fourth, Sao Paulo on 20. Fifth, Bahia on 20. Sixth is Atletico PR on 19. Seventh, Curitiba on 19. Eighth is RB Bragantino on 17. Ninth is Fogo on 16. 10th, Vasco on 16. 11th, Vitória on 15. 12th is Galo on 14. 13th is Grêmio on 13. 14th is Inter on 13. 15th is Santos on 13. 16th, Cruzeiro also on 13. Into the relegation zone then, 17th is Corinthians on 17. 18th is Mirassol on 9. Remo are 19th on 8 points, and Chapecoense bring up the table 20th place on 8 points. So there you go. That is this week's pod wrapped up. All finished and done. So thank you very much for joining us this week. Hope you have a good week. Enjoy it. And I will say adios.
Brazil ball, we're breaking it down. Bringing the passion from every town. Let the world be filled with love tonight. Sway to the beat, make you feel so right. Song by song, our vibes, we're dancing in the